Mutahar has finally made his apology, and I'm just as shocked as you. But what you might not know is that the YouTuber Harmful Opinions, who made the video about Muta possibly cheating on his significant other with a man, has also made an apology in response to that video. There is such a stark contrast in the quality between them, and I really just wanted to talk about that here today. But first, I'm going to give a rundown on the Muta situation. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Alright, so if you're not up to date, I'll give a quick rundown. Basically, Mutahar has been lying for over a decade about being an actual degreed engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I'm a fucking engineer.
I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm only an engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I'm just a fucking engineer.
I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I don't have to tell you as an engineer. I'm just a dumb engineer. As an engineer, my engineer asked, but as an engineer, so I'm just a fucking dumb fucking engineer. Like I can tell her, like I'm an engineer. But I'm an engineer. As an engineer, I'm an engineer. As somebody that is an engineer, as an engineer. I'm saying I'm the number one engineer. As an engineer. As an engineer. All right. As an engineer, I'm just an engineer. Speaking as somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
Basically, Muta was lying about being an engineer in order to have more authority on different subjects, as well as just to stroke his own ego, going as far as saying that he only commented on how bad Elon's code was because he is an actual engineer.
Speaking out of an engineer, like if I wasn't a computer science engineer, I wouldn't speak about Elon being an idiot. But as an engineer, yeah, I'm gonna call him a fucking idiot because he does do idiotic statements.
As well as making the argument, well, I'm an actual engineer, so you could try and argue with me, but you'd be wrong. Basically just saying, I'm an authority figure in this field, so I'm always right about everything when it comes to this. The term pseudo-intellectual is often misunderstood nowadays and thrown around a lot more than it should. It's just a buzzword basically, but it actually really does apply here. He's somebody who thinks he is always right in a field because he has some sort of prestige in academia. And in fact, he doesn't even have that prestige, and he's just trying to make people think he does. It's an intellectually lazy appeal to authority. Here's the clip of him saying, oh, I'm an engineer, therefore I'm right.
I'm an engineer. I know how this stuff is going, so I'm not even speaking out of pocket right here, okay? If you want to disagree with me, feel free, but you're actually wrong.
The funny thing is, for most people, he doesn't even need to do this, because a lot of people have seen his videos that show he is competent in the field of IT. He has at least a basic understanding of the things that he's talking about. So I think that really summarizes it up quite nicely. There's definitely a little bit more to the situation, and I highly recommend you go check out Nick Andros' video, and I'll have it linked down in the description. But today we're focusing on the apology. So it's short, only about like a minute and a half, so I'm just gonna play the whole thing for you guys and then we can talk about it.
Now I use the E word over there, and I want to just start talking a little bit. I know there's been some drama, and I want to kind of address things here really quickly. So obviously, I have been calling myself a engineer, in some cases a programmer, a cybersecurity engineer, whatever you can call it. And, you know, I apparently have also been a dropout, which I don't hide. Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't have a degree, so I'm not a certified or licensed engineer. Now, I made a lot of videos in the past where I've taught you guys about computer safety, cybersecurity, a lot of this stuff, and I think that content stands up on its own. And I believe it actually can be used, you know, and people have learned from it, and I think that's great. Now, if you feel offended, if you feel wronged that I called myself an engineer while not being a degree-holding engineer, then for that I do apologize. And I will denigrate myself to, you know, I guess programmer or a fat Indian guy that knows a bit about computers. That's what I'll leave it at. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Now again, if you want to stick around, awesome. If you still feel wronged and this does not suffice for you, then I don't really give a fuck. Simple as that. Now, again, that being said, if anything else comes out of this, you know, whether there be some legal stuff, then I'll just let lawyers handle it and we'll call it at that. But that being said, I want to move forward, and that's pretty much the engineered response that I had to give.
As far as YouTuber responses go, it's definitely not the best, not even close, but it's also not the worst. I think I'll slide it comfortably into D tier. So what makes this a bad apology exactly? Well, I think it's pretty obvious, but I'll spell it out for you anyway. He doesn't really take accountability. He's kind of just like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I did that, and I'll stop it. Anyway, if you still feel that way, I guess go fuck yourself. I don't like you. And it's just really very insincere. He doesn't actually feel bad. He just feels bad that other people feel bad about it. I'm not really going to milk that segment of the video too much because there's really not much more to talk about there. All right, now let's have a look at what I think is honestly probably the best YouTube apology video I've ever seen, and I've been here for a while. That is, of course, Harmful Opinion's response to him getting some information wrong in a video he made about Mutahar possibly cheating on a girlfriend with a man at a party. So I'm just going to roll the apology here, and we'll talk about it after, just like before.
This video is going to seem like a joke, considering it's the first thing I've uploaded since Mutahar's response to recent drama, but I assure you it is absolutely not. I'd like to apologize unreservedly to Mutahar of Some Ordinary Gamers and Ryan of Nexpo, as well as you, the viewer. This video has not been prompted in any way by any third party. I just decided this evening to check for information in a couple places I didn't, and it turns out I screwed the pooch. I went full retard. I did exactly what I would tear someone else apart for. I got a few pieces that seemed like they fit together, and instead of continuing to check and make sure, I boldly threw what I had out there, and even laughed at other people, when this time, I'm the joke. A link to my previous video with corrections in the description can be found below, but I'll summarize the problems here to try my best to correct what I've done wrong. I shared a clip of Mutahar talking about making out with his friend Ryan at his friend Kyle's wedding while he was in a relationship with a woman who was unhappy about that happening. I also shared a clip of Mutahar talking to Ryan of Nexpo about making out or potentially sucking his dick because he is so blackout drunk he won't remember it. Confirmation bias got the better of me. I went, okay, light bulb, that's the Ryan. However, having taken more time to look into it, which I should have before publishing a video, I no longer think that's clear and think there may be a different Ryan, who I found mentioned in older videos. Additionally, I said I suspected Kyle's wedding where this gay cheating occurred was a 2019 wedding that Mutahar had mentioned in a video. This is absolutely not the case, and Kyle's wedding occurred in 2017, further supporting the idea that the Ryan Mutahar made out with while having a girlfriend may not have been Nexpo unless Mutahar knew him somehow before he started doing YouTube, which I haven't seen to be the case. Additionally, I showed a clip of Mutahar talking to Dr. K about a girlfriend he'd had who was supposedly terminally ill, having end-of-life care with serious heart conditions. I suggested this could have been the girlfriend he had at the time of Kyle's wedding, but now that I've found that details of Kyle's wedding actually are online, and it was in 2017, that must be incorrect. An absolute embarrassment. I don't know what I was doing not putting in the time I needed to, and I again apologize unreservedly to Mutahar of Some Ordinary Gamers and Ryan of Nexpo. I'm not sure how likely it is that either of you will see this, and I don't expect forgiveness given how intensely I went at and have been going at Mutahar, but I am genuinely ashamed of my lack of due diligence in this instance. Of course, actions remorse. And my understanding of how badly I've failed here, not just with regard to the two public figures I've wronged, but also my duty to you, the audience. I will not be covering any further developments in this, or anything to do with Some Ordinary Gamers, beyond looking at other people's coverage on stream, because given my terrible performance in that previous video, I don't think it's reasonable to expect anyone to trust me when I publish original coverage. It's good to check things yourself and you shouldn't trust blindly, but that's not the reality of how people watch YouTube. Trust is a major factor. I've been presenting myself in a way that I simply didn't live up to in that last video, and when someone pretends to be something they're not, it would be ridiculous and wrong just to expect everyone to overlook that. Should something worth talking about come up in future, it will have to be after I believe I've earned the right to expect your trust back. I will make no defense of my mistakes. There is no defense. It was simply wrong not to take the time I should have. I was cocky, aggressive, arrogant, and negligent. I deserve all of the mockery I directed at Mutahar in that last video, and more. And while I stand behind the videos before the last one, they cannot be weighed against these mistakes. You cannot say, sorry I did something wrong, but look at all this good I did. Good behavior doesn't buy you the right to do something wrong now and then, as a treat. If anything, it only makes it worse, because it means there's a bunch of stuff that's worthwhile that your mistake undermines people's ability to trust and want to engage with. I present myself as competent and having an eye for detail. I talk as if I'm better than those I'm covering, but in that last video, that was absolutely not the case. It might come across as weird that I'm saying so much and I'm not trying to self-flagellate or something, but if I don't make it clear that I know everything I have to be sorry for, why on earth would you believe I'm sorry at all? Not to say it's merely about convincing you. In fact, I'm sure many of you do not care either way. You just like a video that'll give you a laugh. But it's not about you feeling offended or feeling wronged. It's about what I did being wrong. I am sorry for what I did wrong. And once again, I apologize unreservedly to Mutahar of Some Ordinary Gamers and Ryan of Nexpo.
Well, I think I'm going to have to put that right up in S tier, guys. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen an apology video done by a YouTuber that is better than that, right? Like, he covered literally everything unprompted, just out of the volition of his own heart, because he felt like he did something wrong. And he was very nuanced, even though it was a fairly short apology video as YouTube goes, only about 4 minutes, but he just snuck in every little detail he could, as well as taking full accountability, having a somber, very, very meaningful tone, which I think adds a lot. Not to glaze this man too hard, but amazing apology video, dude. I really think that you're only at 50k subs now. I'm only at 1,000, but 50k is still relatively a small YouTube channel. You're going places, man. That was an incredibly mature, amazing response, and I don't think I could have done one better myself if I was in a similar situation. This 50,000 subscriber YouTuber just showed a 3 million subscriber YouTuber with over 1 billion views how to do an apology video. And this isn't the first apology video Muta's had to make. He's made the one when he apologized to Nuxtaku, even though he really didn't deserve an apology, and Muta messed up there too, where they were looking at Lolly together, but that's a different video, and I'm sure more people are going to be talking about that with this recent drama, right? Anyway, guys, I think that's really it for the situation. I'm going to be making update videos and just keeping y'all in the loop as the situation progresses, because honestly, I'm fairly interested. Never really liked Mutahar, and my confirmation bias is just getting glazed a little bit right now. I am doing research into this and making sure I get everything proper. I'm not going to go spread misinformation as Harmful Opinion did. Not to rag on him. That apology was amazing. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment is the most important thing because it truly helps me in the algorithm. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one.